Okay, so I'll be saving this as another scene as it's a third file, rigging 3 controllers. Okay. Okay, for this, like let me take the circle. So this we call it as a global controller. We have a global controller. I'm gonna make it quite bigger. And I'll duplicate this one over here towards cog, in the cog. So how do I do that is, like I'll hold V and middle click. I think this is getting freezed. Okay, hold V and move to the, with middle mouse click, you just uh, drag and it will automatically stick and snap to point. Okay, so the controller should not be so big. So I'm just reducing it, reduce the scale. And let's say if I make this as a cog and I'm gonna duplicate this and I make this even smaller, I want this particular curve or a controller to control the hip part. Okay. For example, this is the hip part, right? So when I do like this, the controller should control the hip part. Whereas this is a spine part. This is a spine part. Okay. And you have obviously the cog. This particular controller will control the cog part. We'll do that. Then I'm selecting this and I'm gonna duplicate this and snap this to the next point, that is this one. Okay, so this is cog controller, that is center of gravity. The middle circle is a hip controller. I'm gonna do some modification for that hip. So how do I do that is go to control vertex of it, select the alternate vertex and move it up or scale it like this. That's okay. So I select this, modify center pivot, modify. Okay, freeze transform and all can be done. It's like this. Or else I think it's better. The pivot point is over here only. That's fine. So this is a spine controller and I'm gonna duplicate this and I'm gonna place this somewhere here, leaving one particular joint here. And I'm gonna duplicate this one more to the chest part. Chest part I make it quite bigger. Okay. After this, I'll duplicate this particular controller or curve, place it over here. This is for the neck joint. So I'm gonna rotate this. Sorry, I'm gonna scale down as well as I'm gonna rotate this. This is for neck controller. If I add my character also, then also my controller should be visible outside. So that's what I'm doing. Okay. Then I'm gonna select this. I'll be duplicating this to 90, 90 degree. And for wrist, hold V for wrist. So I'll be scaling this down up to here, up to here. And I'm gonna duplicate this for this particular curve. Okay. I need to create controllers for elbow and knee. Those are called pole vector. Okay. So for that, I'm gonna duplicate this, place it over here, and I'll be rotating this to 90 degree next. So it looks something like this. I will be reducing it once the scale down and go to control vertex. I'm selecting the control vertex of this curve, make it smaller. After selecting the control vertex, I'm making it a bit smaller and pushing it behind. Then I'll be selecting this one. I make it smaller. I make it look something like this. So I select this, modify, center pivot, and elbow here. And I'll be duplicating this here. Now select both the curve, backside. Together, it should be on the same distance. I'm selecting this one and I'll be duplicating this for knee. And I will be rotating this in this way. It's minus 180. Hold V, just snap to this particular joint and control D, duplicate, and one more, place it to the other knee. Select both the curve here. Okay. This is a knee controller, knee pole vector. This is a elbow pole vector. Okay. This is a wrist controller, and this is a neck controller, chest controller, mid of spine controller, and this is spine controller. I can make bigger if required. This is hip. This is cog. Okay, fine. Okay, we need to create leg controller also. I will be duplicating this and place it over here like this. Let me take this here. I'll go to controller text. Okay, and I'll be duplicating this. Scale x-axis negative value and x-axis here also negative value. Okay, like this. Like controller is also done. Clavicle, we need to make clavicle. So I select this, I'm gonna duplicate this, push it backside, and I'll be rotating this in x-axis 90, and I'll be making it smaller and Okay, this particular shape I have created, see, a curve. Okay, I like a bend I have given. So what I'll do, this one, it should snap to clavicle joint. Hold V, this one. And I'll be duplicating this one more here. Then what I'll do, I'll select both the curve, push it behind. Mm, I think this much is okay. Okay. I think most of the things are done. We need to create a jaw for mouth open and close. That we need to do. That's a jaw controller. We can do that later. So I think all the controllers are done. We need to do the naming. So what I'll do first, I will turn off everything. Turn off all. Show none. Show none means there's nothing is shown. Now I'll show NURBS curve. Now you are able to see only the curves. So now if you notice, there are so many values has been changed everywhere in all the curve. Okay. First thing, select all the curve. This is mandatory step. Select all the curve. Modify freeze transform. Okay. The hip curve is there. I will deselect that hip curve. Modify center pivot. Okay. I am saving this as scene 3. So now I can say show all. This is how. Once this particular stage is done. Okay. Any doubt, Bayabunga? No doubt. Fine. I'll save this file as another scene. Now the next step is constraints. How does this constraint work? For example, when I rotate my curve here, rotate the curve here, I want the object or I want the joints to get affected. So that is where constraints. As we all know, under constraint, we have parent constraint, which controls translate and rotation. Point constraint, it controls only the translate part. Orient constraint, it controls rotation part. Scale constraint controls only the scale part. Parent control both translate and rotation. Aim constraint is like let's say in front of you there are butterfly, there is one butterfly which is going here and there. So what you'll do when you are, just think of, like your eyes is, like you're looking at the butterfly. As the butterfly moves, your eye will move, right? I will either move, rotate. I will rotate. Your eyes are going to rotate, like go up down like this. Not the head part, only the eye will rotate. Means the subject is on the same place, but it will rotate based on the target. Here my target is butterfly. That's how, that's the aim concern. You'll get to know. Anyhow, for I we are gonna do that. Pole vector is for elbow and knee part. Okay, fine. Let me save this. File save as 04 constants. Okay, constraint. So first thing is, see when I lift this, already like this eye candles and all may have parented to the reverse joint. So I select this leg curve and the joint, this heel joint. Point constraint. Just click on the point constraint, turn on maintain offset. No, I'll not do the constraint for this. It's like this will be child of this, parent child connection only. I'll select this and select this, press P. I think parent-child connection is enough for the leg part. Okay. Again, my heel joint is going to be child of this particular curve. Press P. Now this is working fine. Now coming to constraint part that I was saying, it is select the curve, shift select the IK handle, this hand IK handle, go to constraint, under constraint, where is constraint? Constraint is here, under constraint, point constraint, click on this option box, switch on maintain offset, turn on maintain offset, okay, and add. So what happens now? Animator will be selecting only the curve. He will not select joint. Animator will not select IK handles. That's the responsibility of a rigging artist, to rig the character or any sort of character and make it ready for animation. That is, he'll be giving controller. That's what I'm doing here. Now the influence of IK handle has been transferred. By default, that also will have the influence, but it has been transferred to this particular controller. So that means select the controller, select the IK handle, point constraint. That means I can move this. Okay, I can translate. See, okay, it can go like this, like this. Same way I need to do for the other hand. Select the curve, shift select the IK handle, point constraint with maintain offset on. Okay, add. So what happens? The influence has been transferred. You can see the character, hand moving and all. Okay. Now from the top, I select this curve. From this, like when I rotate the curve, I want only neck to rotate, something like this. So what do I do that? Select the curve. Here it's all about joint. Okay. Select the curve. Shift select this joint. This is neck joint. This is where, like naming these joints come in handy. When I select this one, you'll able to see, okay, this is neck joint. So I select the curve and select this. Obviously, we need to rename the curves and all. Neck controller, hand controller, we'll do that. Select the curve, shift select this particular neck joint. It is orient now. Now maintain offset on, under orient, add. So what happens when I rotate this curve? Neck is gonna rotate. See, right? Neck is rotating. Okay. Same thing should be done till spine. Select this particular curve and you will be able to see this is the joint which we need to select. Select this, orient constraint with maintain offset on, add. Similarly, select this particular curve, which is spine controller again. Select this, orient with maintain offset and add. That is done. Now, this is really carefully we should do. Here, if you notice, this is the spine controller. This is the hip controller as we discussed. Okay. This is a spine controller. So select the spine controller, shift select this spine joint and press up arrow. You need to press up arrow so that here the main spine joint is there. See, it has been selected, right? I'll show you again. Select the controller, shift select this joint and press up arrow. So do you remember when we create a skeleton for this, in this particular position, there are three joints are there. One is the cog, another is spine controls the bottom part, another is spine controls the upper part, another is hip controls the bottom part. So now I selected this and I press arrow so that the main spine joint has been selected. Now give orient constraint. Now see, when I select this curve and when I'm gonna rotate, it's rotating. See, this spine joint is rotating. Observe the root rotation here. Here, this particular part. When I rotate, see the main here, it's rotating. Okay, that's spine. Now this one, this is hip. So what we have to do, select the curve, select any one thigh, holding shift, press up arrow. Now if you observe, again from here the main hip is here. So select the curve, shift select any one joint, any thigh joint, press up arrow. You can see hip joint here. Now give orient constraint. What happens now? See, I'm selecting the hip controller and I need to rotate this. See, the bottom part is getting rotated. Observe carefully. But it's in the same position. Okay. Now, this is a global one. This is a cog controller and shift select this one, not to this one. Okay, let's do one thing. I'll go to outliner. I'll select this one. See, this is a cog. This is a cog joint. I select the global controller, sorry, cog controller, then click cog joint, control click cog joint here. Go to constraint, parent option box, make sure maintain offset is on, add. What happens now? This guy can rotate. Yeah, it is happening. This guy can rotate and he can move the joint however he want. Okay. Pole vector. Select this. Okay, there's one more thing. Clavicle, we forgot. Select the clavicle controller. Shift select this joint. Orient constraint. Select this particular clavicle controller. Shift select this joint. Orient constraint. So that when I rotate this, you can see this. This is rotating. The joints are rotating. See, it's rotating. Okay. So as I was saying, naming is mandatory. We need to do the naming. I select this. This is left hand right. LT and controller, and this is right hand controller, RT controller. This is neck controller. Neck controller. This is what I'll do. I'll select 1, 2, and 3. I name it as spine controller. Spine controller, spine controller 1, spine controller 2. This is hip controller, and this is cog controller. Hip controller, cog controller is done. This is left leg controller, LT, leg, left leg controller, and this is right leg controller, RT, leg controller. Now coming to this one, these are pole vectors. LT, left leg, P vector. P vector stands for pole vector. This is right leg pole vector, RT, leg, P vector. Right leg pole vector. And this one, left hand pole vector, LT, left hand pole vector, and this is right hand pole vector. There are so many things which we need to follow when we are doing rigging. That's the reason, like I said, this is technical one. Now coming to pole vector, I select this particular left hand pole vector and I shift select this IK handle and go to constraint pole vector. Under pole vector, it's just wait, add. That means select this. See, what I'm doing is this one. This is the one I'm doing. Okay. Select this, shift select this pole vector. Similarly, for the leg part, select this, shift select ankle IK handle, pole vector. Select this, shift select ankle IK handle, pole vector. Okay. Just so I think all the pole vector part and all is done. See how does it looks or it works for the leg part. See, this is how it works. So the next part is, like we need to do the parenting of each one. Let's say neck controller should be child of spine, spine should be child of spine 2, spine 2 should be child of spine 3, then spine should be child of cog. Again, hip controller should be child of cog, like child, parent and child, this relation which we need to construct. Means it's very simple. Select the curve, select next curve, P. That's how it is. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll continue that in the next class, but I want you all to just do it up to here. Is it confusing, Babunga?
No, I'm trying to get it there.
I understand. See, this is a technical topic. This entire topic itself is a technical topic, and that's the reason, like rigging artists are highly paid in the industry. It's all, like based on logic. Okay. So I think you guys can just refer to the videos, like step by step. If you understand, it's a simple, and in an order we need to do. That's it. So next class I'll finish off, parenting, and I think rigging can be completed in next class. So after that we can start with animation. We can start animating this character itself. Just inform your friends, not to miss the session, and we'll continue. Next class we'll finish rigging. Okay. And animation
Okay.
is very simple. That's very, very simple. Very easily anyone can do their portfolio. Okay. Fine then. So if any doubt is there, just let me know.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, man. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Same to you, sir.